If you own an e-commerce brand, you know that content is a never-ending game of creation and iteration. Whether it's for your paid ads or whether it's for organic content, it's something that you need to be continuously keeping a priority on. And so in today's video, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be looking at some of the experts and what they say to be some of the best ad creatives. And this is going to be a series. I'm going to be taking a look at multiple different experts and their creative boards inside of Foreplay. This is a tool that we use in terms of creating swipe files, not only for our internal team, but for clients to utilize. And inside of here, when you go to Discovery, they have a section under brands, they have a section under experts. And as you can see, there's quite a few different experts on here. And what we're going to be doing today is looking through their Foreplay boards to look at their individual types of creatives. We're going to break them down. I'm going to help you understand why they are in their Foreplay boards in terms of top performing. And I'm going to give you guys a ton of examples that you can utilize to create for your own brand. Before we go ahead and get started, guys, if you could drop a like, it would really help with the YouTube channel. Make sure this video gets pushed to the right people. And as always, if you're interested in working with my team, link in the description. But let's go ahead and dive on into this. I'm going to go ahead and go through a couple of pre-designated boards that I've already taken a peek at and selected. And then we're going to be doing this for a couple of multiple videos. So we're going to start with Chase Chappell. He has quite a few different boards inside of here. We're going to start with his 10 best ad creative examples. So number one is basically this storied static image from Storied Hats. Now this is a very good static image. Our most popular wool hats are back. Basically a direct product creative where it's calling out the USPs as well as adding a bit of social proof. Over 20,000 happy craniums, right? They're having a little bit of fun with this. Really cool creative by Ridge. This is where they're, kind of flipping the 5-star review, something that every brand pushes on its head. Why you'll regret buying this wallet. 1-star review. It's too slim. I can't even feel it in my pocket. Again, essentially. And then, a little quote down here. Many say this wallet is too strong, blah, blah, blah. Again, a quick little flip, whereas they actually have another creative right here on number one most knocked off wallet. The Ridge did it right with actually the 5-star reviews. So cool little comparison there. A nice sale creative by Hey Harper Shop. So again, when it comes to utilizing sale creative, guys, 40% off site-wide and your everyday necklaces. The most important thing here is to get the point across as soon as possible, right? So you don't want to be, hey, what is the sale? I'm not really sure. What's the offer? Very clear and easy to understand with this creative. Let's go ahead and look at some of the other ones here. So we have comparison ads. So these are basically just going to be simple us versus them, you versus me, comparison creatives. These are often going to be a static image, but there are a couple of video examples here. So one, you can either call out a direct competitor. So Bulk is calling out C4, basically saying, hey, our pre-workout has no artificial sweeteners, no dyes. C4 does. Same thing that they're doing with Liquid IV here. They're basically calling out a competitor, right? Basically comparing the brand here. Or you can just say, Factor versus Cooking. They're not really calling anyone out, but they're just calling out, a competitor to their brand, quote unquote. A couple of other videos here, us versus them, just like a nice static image one that comes in, right? Or an actual video.
This way is to just show it to you in this video. One sec. As you can see, Liquid IV has almost 1 gram of electrolytes and 11 grams of sugar.
These are really, really great creatives to, again, position your brand as the higher tier or like the wanted version of this. Founder's story. So I love anytime we work with a brand and the founder is involved, I want to utilize these types of creatives. So this is Broya, basically a bone broth company. Tim has a little video explaining, hey, I'm the founder. This is why I started the brand. This is, how it helps. And, here's why you should shop. Bundle creatives. Very easy to understand. Flat lays, right? This is oftentimes going to be for some sort of clothing brand. Very good examples here. Features, right? So these are going to be creatives where you're calling out either the features of your product, what it's actually going to be fixing, or the actual USPs. So a cool little static image sort of GIF style from Ritual here, calling out what their pills actually do. A couple of other ones from Obvi. There's actually quite a lot of Obvi examples throughout these that I've found. So just a general good brand to go ahead and click and look at. They have over 825 community saved ads. New releases. Product focused. Again, the point is, guys, when it comes to content, you don't need to be reinventing the wheel. And so that's why looking at these expert boards is going to be really beneficial. Social Savannah, one of my favorite overall people in this space when it comes to user generated content. All of her ads that are saved on this board, I'm 99% sure are creatives that her and her team have made. And so you just want to go ahead and look through these UGCs. Great hook.
going to bring for a trip, it's these, my reusable earplugs from Loop.
Again, the point of this, guys, is that, in my opinion, Social Savannah has one of the better foreplay boards here, because this is going to be strictly around user-generated content, and she has so many different examples that you can go ahead and repurpose for your brand. Honestly, save these videos, re-upload them into ChatGPT with a transcript, say, hey, can you recreate this for my brand? Here's my product. Ask me any questions you need if you need help. And you guys would be surprised in terms of the content briefs you'd be able to pump out just by saving these videos and replicating them for your brand. Next, we'll go ahead and take a look at Barry, a couple of great variations here. So again, when we look at his ugly ads, this is another great example of types of creatives that you want to get inspiration for. So these are creatives that don't look professional. They're quite ugly, right? So look, let's use this as an example.
This one bottle will last longer than all these bottles of tire shine.
Probably took them, you know, a day to film this creative. Another one. The hook is them squeezing the bowl.
I want you to tell me about the time you got into the most trouble with your parents.
I virtually think I've seen this creative myself as an actual ad. So great example in terms of types of creatives. I love ugly ads. They perform really well. Too pretty ads. So I think what he's calling out here is like, these are creatives that are extremely high end. They probably convert, but most brands probably don't have the budget to produce something that AG1 does. Right, so very good. Barry's featured banger ads. So I'm going to assume these are ads that Barry has filmed himself, as far as some high performing creatives. So good examples here. And then last but not least, we'll take a look at Sarah's. So she has quite a few different creatives. And again, it really depends on how you're going to curate these swipe files, whether it's going to be per client, per creative type. Doesn't really matter. You can see people, you know, accumulate these creatives in different ways. So she has hers by belonging, achievement, competence, empowerment, esteem, engagement. I probably wouldn't label my creatives like this. There's a lot of examples here, but like, you know, esteem. Like, what does that necessarily mean in terms of creative? Not necessarily sure. Empowerment, like I get it. But I think that these could be organized in a bit of a different way, but this probably works very well for her. So again, guys, the reason why I wanted to create this video is just to give you guys some examples as to different types of creatives and where to find them. Foreplay is an excellent, excellent tool. I'm not affiliated with them at all, guys. We just use them inside of the agency. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.